Today I ducked up TIFU by wearing a shawl, which ruined my relationship with my GF. Minor background. I am a pretty affectionate, and at times, effeminate, dude. I'm 6 feet 2 and have a pretty tough guy background in that I was in special forces a while ago, and my roommates all served as well. But I also have thin wrists and sit on my friends' laps and blow kisses to them and shit. I'm not gay, I just am me. So while I was in a shop with a roommate a few weeks ago, he saw these really cool shawls that we both couldn't get out of our heads. He returned last weekend to buy them and now we have these shawls. Mine makes me look like a Star Wars character and his looks like the outlaw Josie Wales. These are seriously awesome shawls. The first night we wore them, everybody at the dive bar we went to dudes, thought they were awesome as well. Then this girl and her friend arrive on invite from Shawl Bro, and they are seriously turned off by our sweet shawls, like, acting pretty weird about them and making comments, whatever. So I get a call from my GF. She's tired and wants to hang out at mine, and so I bid these mean girls and Shawl Bro adieu and head home. I'm still wearing the shawl when my GF arrives and she's also really taken aback. She won't even kiss me until I take it off. We get to the deed and go to sleep. And the next morning she starts asking me if I'm gay, and she's really serious and aggressive about it. I tell her I'm not, that if I was I'd definitely know if by now, and she counters with her major evidence of the fact that I own a shawl. Anyway, she gets weird and leaves, and then sends me a text later about how she's sorry and that she needs to think about what kind of man she wants, and then doesn't contact me for days. So yesterday I invite her out. She's stumbling over her words and talking about how she likes tough guys and how she grew up in the South and needs to get used to the big city, but that she doesn't know this or that. And eventually I just tell her very politely to get ducked because I'm pretty insulted by this point. On the way back, now that I'm not directly in front of her, I get this long apologetic text from her, but the crux of it is that she's just not that into me anymore because I wore a shawl. Later on, I tell Shawl Bro about this, and he also had a blowout with a girl he was seeing over his shawl that very same night we went out. We are both going to keep wearing the shawls though. They are warm. Edit. She's a nice girl. She's just not picking up what I'm putting down. It's a silly thing to be mad about, and by popular demand, it's shawl over few hoes. It's official. That's the most I've heard seen the word shawl in a single day. Two sayings come to mind here. One from my basic instructor, who was also special forces. So I figure you'll like that one. One I picked up somewhere. I don't remember where a long time ago. What my instructor taught me was simple. If you have something that makes your life easier or more comfortable, like using knee pads, or grabbing an umbrella, or whatever, and you choose not to use it, you are no tougher or better than the man who chooses to. In fact, if it says anything about you, it probably says you're stupider, because while you're standing there, wet and cold in the rain, he grabbed an umbrella and is dry. The other is, the toughest, most alpha thing you can do in any situation is the thing you want. While everyone else is catering to others' whims, you are confidently being you with no ducks given what others think. Give your balls a tug, you titducker. Shawlsy. If you and Shawl Bro continue to sport shawls and get new, hotter girlfriends, you should call it Shawshank Redemption. Today my girlfriend ducked up by giving a shit about a shawl. Fix that for you. Shawls before doors. Thou hast a bullet dodged. Shawled sir. Yay, he dodged a bullet here. My ex got on my ass for the same thing. Accused me of being gay or bi because I had bromances with a few best friends. Doing the same shit OP does. She didn't trust me when I told her I was 100% sure of my sexuality and I was confident with who I was. She had a problem with me being myself and that was a huge red flag for me. I couldn't give her 100% of my personality without her questioning some aspect of who I was. Unfortunately, I stayed in the relationship for 6 months after that. Huge mistake. Luckily I got out of it and found someone who loves me for who I am and finds the bromances cute and funny. That's who we all deserve in the end. Someone who loves us for who we are without holding back any of our flaws or traits. Glad you moved on from her. Hopefully OP has better luck with the next one. Sorry to hear, man. but those are girls you don't wanna be with. They like the image of you in their heads more than the you in reality. Also, dude, good on you being comfortable in your own skin, and also being self-aware enough to know how you deviate from cultural norms, but still being okay with that. Sounds like she wanted a reason to F off. I say, wear what makes you happy. There's a great Eddie Izzard, who is an executive transvestite, bit where he says he doesn't wear women's clothes. He wears his clothes, and he rocks it. So keep on rocking it. Keep being yourself and doing what you want. Is this TIFU or r/dodged a bullet? These women need to get bent. If anything, to me it solidifies your identity. BC, you are wearing something that you are comfortable in, and duck all the haters. You do you, my man. If my husband all of a sudden decided to wear one of my shawls, more power to him. Unless of course I was planning on wearing it that day, in which case we would have to battle over it. A woman who is that concerned about you being a manly man clearly has far deeper insecurities than she is letting on. Good riddance. Find yourself a lady who won't question your sexuality based on arbitrary reasons. Thank you for the silver. I think this is the first time I've ever gotten anything like that. I can't wait to tell my hubs. Holy macaroni. Thank you for the gold and platinum. This is the best day ever. My hubs will be proud, and we may just have to go out and buy ourselves some matching shawls in celebration. Haha, I loved reading this. Why do people give gold for a simple comment like this one while the poster only got silver? TIFU by telling someone he had something on his trailer dragging. Happened this morning. About 5 hours ago, I was on my way to work, following a guy towing a trailer behind him. I noticed some sparks coming from somewhere underneath the trailer. Normally, I wouldn't think twice about it, but I was having an especially good morning and wanted to help. Plus he was hauling a decent sized excavator and didn't want something to happen to it, because it looked pretty new. We pull up to a stoplight, and I hop out of my truck to run up to him and let him know. Apparently he didn't see me, because when I said excuse me, his window was open. He turned and punched me in the jaw. Being one who didn't want to escalate the situation, I let him know about the trailer and proceeded to apologize for scaring him. As I turned around to go back to my truck, the light turned green. The way this intersection is, there is the lights we were waiting at and another light 50 back down the road to tell incoming traffic what the light is, as it's somewhat of a blind curve. As I'm walking back to my truck, a woman comes around the corner and slams into the back of my truck, pushing it forwards into me. It didn't move very fast, but hit me hard enough to knock me over and crack a few ribs. She then gets out and yells at me for being stopped at the intersection as I'm laying on the ground in quite a bit of pain. The way she viewed it, I was an 18-year-old kid who got out of my truck to do something stupid. The cops got there and she got cuffed after trying to assault one of the officers. TIFU by thinking my Welsh, English bilingual boyfriend was having a stroke. I caused a car crash. I've been with him for roughly a month and I knew he spoke Welsh fluently, but I've never heard him or anyone speak Welsh. We are driving to his house and he's on a call with one of his friends, so I'm just sat on my phone, relaxing, enjoying the hills. Well, he suddenly starts speaking Welsh and flinging his arms around, apparently having some sort of an argument. I've never heard Welsh before and TBH, it sounded more like lots of slurring. I legitimately thought he was having a stroke, so I grabbed the steering wheel. He did the exact same thing but in the opposite direction. He outstrengthed me. We span around on the road and came to a stop. He was so confused as to why I randomly grabbed the wheel. I explained the situation and now his Welsh family and friends are having a great laugh at my mono language self. Boyfriend randomly started speaking in Welsh. I thought he was having a stroke. I grabbed the steering wheel and we span out. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking mad lad. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content. It's free and that's a great price.